Welcome to my home office. As you can probably tell, I have two desk setups. One is for work and the other is for play and content creation. This project had been ongoing for a while now, as I have worked to perfect my desk setups over the last few years, since my needs change over time. With that being said, let's take a look at my main setup. Starting off with the desk is the FlexiSpot EF1 desk frame in white with the maple wood top. This is a sit-stand desk. If you're looking for a new desk, I'd recommend getting a sit-stand desk since it makes things much more versatile, not to mention the health benefits. If that doesn't convince you, then it's also very useful for cable management. There are plenty of sit-stand desks out there, and they're generally quite affordable these days, especially ones from FlexiSpot, not sponsored. Moving on to the chair is the Herman Miller Aeron Remastered. This is quite a pricey chair in my opinion, so I decided to get a refurbished one. I think I can safely say after owning it for around 2 weeks or more, it is a very good ergonomic chair. I can see why people really like this chair. I'd personally make sure you invest in a good chair since your back will thank you later on in life. To support my feet at the desk and make sitting more comfortable, I have this soft footrest. Next up is the monitors. This is probably somewhat an unconventional setup, but it works for me. I tried to be more minimal with just one monitor, but then not long after that I somehow ended up with 2 more monitors. Okay, I had these 2 lying around. For the main monitor, I am using the Asus PG32U CDM. This is a 32-inch 4K QD OLED 240Hz gaming monitor on a monitor arm. On top of the monitor, I have a Quintus monitor light bar. I have made a video on this monitor which you can check out by clicking here. It has a built-in USB 3.2 KVM and I have it connected to my gaming PC and M1 MacBook Pro. The display below is a 15-inch Azopa 1080p 60Hz IPS monitor. On the left, I have a 24-inch Dell P2422HE 1080p IPS monitor on a monitor arm, which also doubles as a useful way to mount a camera or webcam once I insert this pole into the arm. I use these 2 monitors to help me with productivity such as Spotify, internet browsers, email, etc. They are also useful for OBS since I can record my primary screen and monitor the recording at the same time. I have tried the vertical monitor orientation and I'm not sure it's for me. I feel like I'm a bit more restricted, especially when it comes to videos on YouTube. That being said, I tend to do most things on my main display. All of the displays are connected to my PC as well. Since the M1 Pro MacBook Pro only supports 2 external displays, I had to pick up a dock from Ugreen which has display link technology to get around that issue. I have Ethernet and 2 USB SSDs connected to this dock as well. Some of you may have noticed the LG soundbar I have hiding behind the bottom monitor. I don't know the model number since it was given to me from a family member, and yes, I understand it may not be the best way to go about the placement of the monitor from the acoustics perspective. It doesn't bother me that much, and it's great for watching YouTube videos and movies. I have lost a remote for it, but thankfully this universal remote has restored the functionality. You can find out more about this remote in this video here. For my headphones, I am using the Sony WH-1000XM5 noise cancelling over-ear headphones. These are great and I sometimes use my AirPod Pros too as well. For the microphone, I have the Logitech Blue Sonar and it's great but overpriced in my opinion. It's an XLR microphone, so I have it plugged into the Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen audio interface alongside with the headphones. This is then plugged into my KVM on the Asus monitor, which allows me to use it with both of my computers. Next to the audio interface, I have my 12.9-inch M1 iPad Pro on this stand, and behind that I have a stand for my Sony a7 Mark III 4K camera, which I'm using to record this right now. I used a teleprompter since most of my videos are planned and scripted. Okay, I know I've covered quite a bit so far. Let's get into the juicy stuff, such as the gaming PC sitting on the IKEA cabinet. I know some of you are wondering about the specs. This is a custom build from CyberPower PC. I like to build my own PCs, however I got this at the time of the GPU or global chip shortage. This meant it was cheaper to get a PC from a system integrator back then. I'll put up the specs on screen, but it has an AMD Ryzen 7 5800X, 32GB of DDR4 RAM, an RTX 3080 and a total of 5TB of NVMe storage. I have upgraded some things such as the RAM and SSD, as well as added more fans, and this GPU supports bracket as well. Overall, it is a great system, and of course it may not power the main display at 4K 240Hz on most AAA titles, but I get around 150 FPS on high settings, which is fine. On top of the system I have an IKEA fake plant and a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth dongle, although the system is connected via Ethernet, but it's mainly for Bluetooth devices. Behind the PC I have some Nanoleaf panels, which adds a nice bit of style, but also doubles as another light for my videos. Moving back onto the desk, I have a desk mat from Delta Hub and their Copio 2.0 wrist rests. For the peripherals, I am using a custom keyboard made using the EpoMaker TH80 Pro, which you can find out more about by watching this video here. I then used the Logitech G703 Lightspeed mouse for my gaming PC, and then the Logitech MX Master 3S for the PC and Mac. I also have a Stream Deck, which is quite useful. As mentioned earlier, I have a base model 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pro sitting in the stand in a white marble Christian case to protect it. It is a great machine, and honestly I don't have a good enough reason to upgrade it. I have thought about getting the new M4 Pro MacBook Pro or the M4 Pro Mac Mini, but this does everything I want it to do. I'll see how things are over time. Taking a look at the left hand side of the desk setup, you can see there's another IKEA cabinet that has an Amazon Echo, some fig plants, remotes and other knickknacks. Above the monitor you can see the main studio light which I use for my videos, which is the Neewer CB60 with a 24-inch Neewer softbox, and you've guessed it, a Neewer photography light stand. To tie everything together, I have some groovy lights behind the main monitor and around the desk. Last but certainly not least are these Christian/biblical posters I've recently added to my setup to tie it all together. I'll link the Etsy download links if you're interested. I just printed them out using my Canon IP8750 printer. You can see if there's somewhere local to print them if you don't have an A3 printer. I then put them in these minimal picture frames I got on Amazon. That's about it for the main setup. Let's move on to the second desk. This is where I work from home. Starting off with the main desk, I have the FlexiSpot AG1 with the Maplewood top. Of course, I have another footrest for this desk. For the chair, I have this Ergo chair. I'm not sure what the model number is, but I find the Aeron chair to be more ergonomic and comfortable, so I end up switching to that. In terms of the display, I have the MSI Optics MAG 342 CQR monitor. This is a curved 34-inch 3440 by 1440 144Hz monitor. Yes, I understand 144Hz is a bit overkill for coding, but I prefer higher refresh rate monitors. This is more of a minimal setup, so it made more sense to go for a single ultra-wide monitor. On top of the monitor, I have another Quintus light bar. These are good budget light bars for around £30 at the time of purchase. The monitor is on a monitor arm to free up some space on the desk. In terms of the peripherals, I'm using the Logitech MX keys and the Logitech MX Master 3S mouse. I tend to use these across both of the setups. Ensuring there is a bit of consistency, I have the Delta Hub mouse mat and the Copio 2.0 wrist rests. For audio, I use the Creative Pebbles V3. These are a really good pair of speakers for around £30. The sound quality is good, and they even have Bluetooth as well as a USB A or C connectivity. You can even connect a 3.5mm aux cable to them as well if that's more of your thing. You may have noticed the Govee Play bar light behind the monitor, giving it a nice bit of ambience glow on the wall. Last but not least is the wooden mountains wall art above the setup. I think that pretty much covered both of the desk setups. Thanks for watching. I hope you've got some inspiration for your own setups. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. Before you head out, if you enjoy watching videos like this, please consider subscribing. Why not check out my previous video to help you decide what type of monitor is best for your setup. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless.